Hi viewers, welcome you once again to Micro Learning. This is Shailaja. So, yesterday we had seen regarding fourth chapter consumption and investment function. In that we learned many terminologies like consumption function. We have learned what is multiplier, what is accelerator. So today we are going to see a continuation of the chapter 4, 4.2. So it is income consumption schedule. So now we are going to see a table, a simple calculation. Okay, very simple calculation. Can you see why it's given as 0? That is, income is 0, but your consumption is supposed to be 20. Now you may be wondering, when there is no income, how consumption will take place? How does it take place? We take away money from the past savings. Okay, so this consumption takes place. So we call this as autonomous consumption. Even if we do not have income, we take away from the past and we use it for consumption purpose. Money is used for consumption purpose. So here what happens? We do not have any saving. It becomes minus 20. So in the second one you can see 60 is supposed to be the income of a person. He consumes for 70. Okay, so extra 10 rupees. So there's no savings because it's minus 10. Next one is a person's income is 120. He consumes 120 but no savings, it is 0. Now the next income is 180 where the person consumes 170. So difference between 180 and 170 is 10. Next one is 240 is a person's income. 220 is being spent. So 20 is being saved. Easy calculation. You'll be knowing about it. 300 is the income. 270 spent and 30 is being saved. 360 is the income. 320 is consumed and 40 is being saved. So I think you will not have any difficulty. It's very simple. So you can understand. So even in your board exam, there's a possibility of asking, giving you a square like this, in between leaving some boxes and asking you to find out what is the income, what is the consumption and the saving. At the end of the slide you can see a worksheet on it. You can work it out. So I hope you have understood income consumption schedule. Now there's a formula you should know. Okay, what is consumption formula? C is equal to A plus B Y. Okay, so here C is equal to A plus BY. Now what is B you should know? B is nothing but MPC. Okay, so this is a consumption formula. So what is consumption formula? C is equal to A plus BY. What does B represent? MPC, that is marginal propensity to consume. This is the basic or fundamental formula that you should know. Now, a person's income is 0. A person's income increases to 200. A person's income increases to 300. Now, when the income increases, you can see the consumption pattern also increases. See here, when income is 100, consumption is 180 as such. So income increases, consumption also increases. So how this has been calculated? Now 200 was the income. The income has risen to 300. What is the difference? The difference is supposed to be 100 rupees, 100 rise in income. Now the person's income from consumption from 260 has increased to 340. Now what is the difference? Consumption has increased by 80 by 80. So this consumption put together we call it as 0.8. Okay, so how did you get 0.8? It is nothing but change in C by change in Y. Change in C by change in Y. So what is change in C? Now what is a change in C? Where you have to minus these two. When you minus these two, you get 80. What is your income change from 200 to 300? So divided by 10. Okay, so you will get 0.8. This is how you calculate this MPC as such. That's how we have got 0.8 as such. Okay, so what is the leftover of 0.2, which stands as a savings. Okay, 0.2 stands as a savings. I hope you have understood. Okay, so when they give you calculation like this, you just do only one thing here. Just look at the difference between the income and difference between the consumption. Okay, you minus these two. You see, from 200 minus 300 you get 100. Okay, from 260 minus 340 you get 80. Okay, now this difference you can put it into an equation. MPC is equal to 80. What is the change? Difference between these two is supposed to be 80. Divided by what is the change in income? It is supposed to be 100. So this is equal to 0.8 as such. Clear? Okay, so this is how you calculate the MPC. Hope you have no doubt regarding this. Okay. Next one is a calculation just to put to make you understand. So previous thing itself, in a plain mode I put it. It is 200. Now Y has changed to 300. Okay, consumption from 260 to it has increased to 340. So this you have income 100 you have changed. Here 80 is been the consumption. So the difference between these two is 20. So this stands as a savings. I hope it is clear for you. Now with this particular equation as such, now we are going to see a diagram representation how consumption, investment and saving keeps changing. So from the above table shows that consumption is an increasing function. Okay, which is an increasing function? Consumption is an increasing function. How do we call it as a increasing income? Because when your income increases, your consumption automatically increases. So hence it shows when the income is 0, people spend out of their past savings. Okay, you don't have an income for this month. What do? We would have saved, or we have some assets where we have to sell it and we have to run our living. So you consume because of that. So this we call it as autonomous consumption. So what is autonomous consumption? People spend out of their past saving is called as autonomous consumption. So now next one you're going to see a diagram. Before we go into the diagram, whenever we draw a diagram, the first thing you have to do is name the axis. X-axis is income, Y-axis is consumption. Okay, then you can see a 45-degree line here which is in red color. Okay, this is 45 degrees, that is consumption is equal to income at this particular point here. Now can you see a difference here? Can you see this 0 to 20? This is called as autonomous consumption. What do you mean by autonomous consumption? When people consume from their past, it is called as autonomous consumption. So can you see this line? This is called as autonomous consumption line. Now when your income, now you have to listen very carefully. First one is when your income is 120, your consumption is 120. So can you see this intersection point? This is the B point. You do not have any saving because you have got income of 120. You have spent it for consumption. 120 you have consumed. So nothing is left over. So it becomes 0. So here at point B, you can see there is no savings denoted over there. The next one is Your income increases to 180. What happens to your consumption? It increases to 170. Can you see the difference, the gap here? Okay, this is called as savings line. Okay, so this is the first concept you should know asset. So whenever you look at a diagram, first thing is mark the x-axis, mark the y-axis, write income on the x-axis, consumption on the y-axis. After that, directly draw a 45-degree line in the center and mark it as C is equal to Y. Then you draw the autonomous consumption. Then mark the 120, 180. Okay, we can write our own numbers, but only thing is when we do the calculation, the difference should be shown over here in the diagram as such. So we are going to see in this diagram, income is measured horizontally, consumption is measured vertically. That is what is given here. Next one is, what does this 45 degrees line represent? Income consumption is supposed to be equal. Next one is, it is a linear consumption function based on the assumption that consumption changes by the same amount as does in income. So if there is an income change, automatically what can you find? That has a reflection on the consumptional change. Thus, the consumption function measures not only the amount of consumption spent, but also how much of amount is being saved. That is what we saw in the previous slide. Okay, so we saw the difference. 100 crores it has increased. How much has been spent? 80 crores has been spent. Now, this is because the propensity to save is merely propensity not to consume. So, you have kept 20% for saving. That denotes you do not want to consume. So, what does the 45-degree line tell you? May therefore be regarded as a zero saving line. This is called as a zero savings line. So, if you get a question, what does the 45-degree angle denote? You just have to mention 45 degrees line is regarded as a zero saving line because you do not have saving, because consumption is equal to income. Suppose if they ask you for board exam, please write this point which is highlighted in purple color for you. Okay, and the position of the C curve indicates the division of income between consumption and savings. So I hope it is clear for you. So 45 degrees line, what does it denote? It denotes the savings, consumption and income, and there is no savings at all. So now you have a worksheet. What is consumption function? What is a consumption function? It's a consumption function is supposed to be a relationship between consumption and national income. Next is, what is an accelerator? Accelerator, what does it denote as such? Multiplier, accelerator, two concepts are there. Two are supposed to be opposite terms that we have to look into. So what is accelerator? It is nothing but a change in investment. Okay, a change in investment to change in consumption. When there is a change in investment, automatically consumption also changes. So what is this 45-degree line indicates? Just now I told you y is equal to C is equal to Y as such. So here consumption is equal, income is equal to consumption. So now you have to fill the missing data. Here I have put a question mark, here a question mark, here a question mark, here a question mark, and here. Okay, so how will you find out this? Okay, so I have put a question mark over here. So how do you derive at saving? You minus these two, you get the answer for this. Now how will you calculate this? This income must be minus by saving. You will get your answer for consumption. So you want to find out what is the income? You minus these two, you get over. You add these two, you get the answer for it. Here you have to find the consumption. So you have to minus 280 from 200, you will get, I will repeat once again so that you can understand. Okay, these two together you get the answer for this. Okay, you want to know what is the consumption? You minus 20 from 50. You want to know third one, what is the income? Add the consumption plus savings. Okay, fourth one, minus income from the savings, you will get your consumption. Okay, saving. You minus these two, you will get your savings. I hope it is clear for you. Go through the slide once again and work out this worksheet so that it will be useful during the board exam. So, those who are watching the channel for the first time, please like, subscribe, comment and share to Micro Learning Shailaja. Thank you very much. Please keep watching and supporting me. Thank you.